If you're like most parents, we meet in our office, you've probably tried everything. Behavior charts, therapies, sensory diets, calming techniques, and yet your child is still struggling. The meltdowns keep happening, the anxiety keeps growing, and nothing seems to create lasting change. You're doing your best, but it feels like you're constantly walking on eggshells. You're not alone. Every week, we meet parents who are exhausted and heartbroken by just watching their child fight invisible battles that no one else seems to understand. And here's the part that might actually shock a lot of people. 1 in 6 children in the United States has a diagnosed developmental disability, and up to 40% of kids suffer from at least one chronic illness. But what if all of these things are just labels? The sensory issues, anxiety, the tantrums, the behavior problems weren't separate issues really at all. What if they were all connected to one common root cause that most doctors never talk about? Let's dig deeper today, okay? We see the same story played out again and again in our practice. Kids who can only wear specific outfits because seams or fabrics feel wrong. And children who cover their ears at loud sounds and have meltdowns in crowded places and completely shut down over small changes. And parents who feel like they're missing something big. The truth is, they're not too sensitive, they're not acting out. These are all signs of a nervous system stuck in a survival mode. A child's body trying to cope with a world that feels unsafe to them. When we look underneath the surface, what we often find is that these kids are experiencing something called nervous system dysregulation. And let me kind of break that down and explain what that really means. Nervous system dysregulation is your child's nervous system. It should be built to shift between fight or flight and rest and regulate. But many of these kids, that switch is stuck in the on position. It's like the gas pedal being constantly pressed down and there are no brakes. That dysregulation affects everything. Everything from sensory processing to sleep to digestion, immune function, emotional control. So how did their nervous system get stuck? It's almost never just one thing. We call it the perfect storm. The perfect storm is where stress can begin before your child is even born. When mom is under high levels of stress during pregnancy, cortisol and other stress hormones can cross the placenta. And then this affects baby's developing nervous system. Then comes the birth trauma. It could be things like C-section, forceps, vacuum, or long stalled labors. Even seemingly normal births can create pressure and tension. And that tension is right where the brainstem and upper spine connect. That's an area responsible for that brain-body communication. And if it's stressed, or if it gets stressed or misaligned, it can create misfires in that nervous system communication from day one. And as your child grows, early stressors keep stacking up. Lack of sleep, processed foods, environmental toxins, too much screen time, not enough movement, and pressure from school routines and expectations. Over time, this builds a dysregulated nervous system that can't shift off of that fight or flight response. And when the nervous system is stuck in a stress mode, everything else gets stuck too. This is why so many parents come to us and say, we've changed the diet, we've done the supplements, we've seen all of the specialists, but nothing seems to fully work. Let's talk about why that really is. You've probably heard about the gut-brain connection, and you might have even tried focusing on your child's gut health. But if you haven't seen results, it could be because the nervous system is so dysregulated that the vagus nerve, the main highway between the brain and the digestive system, is out of whack. This vagus nerve controls how your child digests food, how stomach acid and enzymes are released, how the body eliminates wastes, even how the immune system functions. But here's the problem, that if the nervous system is stuck in that survival mode, the body puts digestion on the back burner. So no matter how many gut healthy tools you try, it's like pouring water into a bucket with holes. So until the nervous system can really calm down, nothing else can fully function. So how do we actually find and fix the real root cause? At True North, we use advanced technology called insight scans. These scans are totally non-invasive, they're kid-friendly, and they give us a clear picture of what's really going inside the kiddo's nervous systems. They show us muscle tension and stress patterns from our SEMG. They show us autonomic function and communication from our thermal scans. They tell us how well your child's nervous system actually is adapting and responding to stress from our heart rate variability. From there, we build care plans with specific, gentle, neurologically focused adjustments, not to crack or pop bones, but to restore clear communication between brain and body and back up to brain. This helps your kiddo, his or her nervous system feel safe again. And when their bodies feel safe, everything changes. Behavior improves, emotions stabilize, digestion and sleep and focus all start to regulate naturally, the way that we were intended to function. So if you've tried everything and nothing seems to work, this is your sign to go deeper. What your child is showing you, the meltdowns, the anxiety, the resistance, those are all signals. They're all red flags. And now you know where they're coming from. So click the link in our bio to learn more about nervous system regulation and how we help families just like yours every single day. If you're ready to go deeper, we have an upcoming Perfect Storm workshop. We're gonna be posting more about that, so stay tuned. But this is where we'll walk through every step of how your child got from point A to point B and how we can get them back on a path of healing from the inside out. You're not alone in this. We got you, and you got this. So reach out if you have any questions. I can't wait to connect, and we'll talk to you soon.